I don't feel like changing jerseys for this video. I had to update some stuff here, obviously. I've already given Edmonton the win over Boston. I don't think Boston knew they had a game today. It's fine. As I said earlier, I wasn't expecting a win for them. I don't expect them to move up in the standings. Just the fact that they're in a race after the last 2 years where they've just fallen out of it is nice. It's nice to see. And I don't mind Edmonton getting the win because I want to see Edmonton and Calgary in the playoffs. Round one would be fine. I'd prefer round two, but round one's just fine. So, what happened tonight? So, Washington gets a win. Toronto gets a win and jumps back into a position where they play Washington. The Capitals want that. They have the 20 point edge on Toronto, but more importantly, they have the experience edge on Toronto. They want a first round that is, I'm not going to say easy because there's no round of the playoffs that's easy, but they want a first round of the playoffs that they know they can win. They had that last year with Philly, but Philly played them really tough. Philly's able to make the game grind to a halt, and they're able to kind of scare you a little bit. Toronto doesn't have that capability. They do have they're too stupid to know they're supposed to lose theory, or well, not a theory. They've done it this year, and I've said it a few times. They're too stupid to know they're supposed to lose. They're too dumb to know they're Leafs, so they've been winning. And tonight was a huge one, huge win. I cannot overstate how huge a win that was for Toronto tonight. They had to get this one back. If they lost to Tampa tonight, you're 3 points back, you're fading, and with a young team, you really need to be able to keep that going. Columbus, with their win tonight, they now are second place, which again is huge because it would give them home ice against Pittsburgh. They played the same number of games, they have one more point. This is tight. This is close. Montreal's 86 points looks good for the division lead right now as the Ottawa Senators lost to Chicago in heartbreaking fashion. So Montreal would play the Rangers in the first round still. The Rangers is the number one wild card, would play the number two ranked division team, and that would be Montreal. Um, and Marty Biron said tonight on TSN that um, it's a poor matchup for the Rangers, Montreal, and that Ottawa would be a better matchup for them. Well, problem is with 12 games left for Montreal and 13 games left for Ottawa, right now Montreal's got that 1 point advantage. So we'll see how it turns out in the end. But for right now, I think Montreal probably wins the division. And then you have Ottawa and Boston. And then down here at the bottom, I've got the Islanders and Tampa, who both have played 70 games and have 77 points. So they're one back. That's not 80 points, it's 90 points. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. And it's cause I want to make teams in the Atlantic Division feel better about their standing in life. And yet, that's wrong. The New York Rangers, and the funny part is, Rangers fans have been talking to the screen since I started this video that I've got the wrong number. I can't hear you. I have no way to hear you. This is not live yet. I'll do a live stream this weekend. Um, is my intention, anyways. But Montreal and the Rangers have the 4 point spread. It means nothing. They're still the wild card team. Out west, the Blackhawks win again. The Blackhawks find a way. Minnesota with a loss. So Minnesota now, that game in hand doesn't mean a whole lot. They're 3 points back of Chicago. It does make things mildly more difficult for Minnesota, only in terms of in a second round matchup. If Chicago's first place, Chicago has home ice, and Chicago is lethal with home ice in the playoffs. So St. Louis is still the number two wild card, so they play Chicago. Nashville's playing Minnesota. The reason that I highlighted the wild cards this time is because somebody last time said I've got it wrong on the wild cards, and they copied and pasted from NHL.com, and it's like, I know how the playoffs work. Yes, these are all divisional teams against each other. That's only because of where the teams sit in terms of their wild card spots. If Calgary falls behind St. Louis in points, then yeah, Calgary plays Chicago and St. Louis plays San Jose. But right now, this is how it works out. It works out pretty well, actually. Chicago St. Louis would be a very interesting series in that we know what happened last year when those teams played each other. Nashville Minnesota is a very big series because both of these teams have a chip on their shoulder. Nashville feels they should have gone further last year, and Minnesota feels like they are in year four of we should be contenders. Why aren't we winning in the playoffs? San Jose is full value for first place in their division. They do not have the worst record of any division leader. That would be Montreal. Um, Edmonton with the win bounces up. They're playing Anaheim if the playoffs started today. And Calgary falls down to the number one wild card spot. But that's okay because I think between Anaheim and San Jose, I don't think Calgary is going to mind one way or the other. Now, if Calgary can play Edmonton, then you got a series. The thing is, Calgary doesn't have a great record against any of these teams, but being in the playoffs is big. Now, the only team that I legitimately could put on the board is LA, and yet this is backwards. I'm still tired. Still tired. Still tired. Again, people are yelling at their screens. LA's not 4 games below fake 500. They're 4 games above fake 500. So I'll go ahead and change this, and I'll make the numbers really big. That's not right either. No. They have played. Let me go ahead and take a look. I know the point total is right. Yeah, it's 69 and 73. Man, I am kind of sort of done. It's like I'm Bob Ross and I'm one step away from that final snapping moment where, I start just painting everything black and talking about the darkness that's coming to consume us all. So 73 points in 69 games. I don't see LA doing anything other than fading from here. Jets fans, I know you've got 69 points. I know you're 8 points back. You also have played too many games. 71 is too many. So I don't have Winnipeg on this list. I also don't have Florida on this list. They might have got on this list, but by losing tonight and falling to 7 points back, and now they have to jump over Philly, Tampa, New York, and Toronto to make the playoffs, I'm declaring them out of the race right now. You guys have the right to change that if you want. But let me know of these matchups. And these matchups have been pretty steady for the last few weeks now. Which of these matchups would you be looking forward to watching the most? For me, in the West, I'd most be looking forward to watching Chicago-St. Louis out of the matchups we have because it's a rematch. And Chicago will be looking for revenge. And in the East, it's Washington and Toronto. I know Boston in the playoffs should be the one I want to watch, but that Washington-Toronto series would be fun. That would be fantastic to watch. It might be a 5-game series. Might be Washington wins it in 5. But each game would be very interesting, very entertaining. And I think part of the takeaway of tonight, too, is that Freddie Anderson, again, shows he has incredible skills to bounce back. That's key in the playoffs. So we'll see if that helps them turn things around. But right now, this is the playoff picture. I don't mind it. I'm good with it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Canadian teams in there. Just Winnipeg and Vancouver that miss. I don't have Vancouver or Dallas on the board tonight. They're playing against each other. I'm not there because they wanted $60 per ticket. That's not happening. So I'm here talking to you fine people instead, which doesn't bother me in the slightest. There you go. There's your playoff standings. Let me know what you guys think. I still think Tampa's going to get that last spot. I know Tampa lost to Toronto tonight, and it's upsetting, but you're not going to go on a run like Tampa has and just continually run. That just doesn't happen. It's like Boston tonight with that loss. They're now 12-4 with Bruce Cassidy behind the bench. It's not the end of the world. And it's not the end of the world for Tampa either. They're still in a good position going forward. Most of their games are at home. Most of their games are against teams that are out of the playoffs. They have a good shot here at making hay. And if they don't, then we get Toronto. And if Tampa somehow does come in and get that last spot, Washington has a connection. Capitals fans officially start to panic. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you all again later.